I think this news cycle that we witnessed in the last week was a perfect example of that. Floyd, I feel like everything that happens and people were like, damn, we knew it was real, but this is like real, you know?
Remember you like this. And it gets worse, your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing this happen.
My first investment was real estate.
Wow.
I went from commercial real estate, huge, skyscrapers actually. So I own, actually what I own.
You're bragging now.
No, I'm not
now
bragging.
You're bragging.
No.
Trevor Noah recently unpacked Floyd Mayweather's headline-grabbing $42 million real estate deal, raising serious questions about what the boxing legend actually owns. Mayweather's bold claims of purchasing dozens of Manhattan buildings outright appear to conflict with the facts. As more details come to light, it seems the truth behind this flashy announcement points toward potential fraud within Mayweather's real estate ventures. Here's a breakdown of the documented details.
You know what's crazy? People are always in my fucking business, worried about what I'm doing, what Floyd is doing, what Floyd ain't doing, what I do got, what I don't got. Just know.
Over the past year, Floyd Mayweather has been promoting a new chapter in his post-boxing life, branching out into nutritional supplements, luxury fashion, liquor brands, and more recently, high-end real estate. He announced what he described as the biggest business move of his life. A video posted on Instagram where the 48-year-old proudly showed off what he claimed was a new portfolio of 62 rental buildings in Upper Manhattan.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. And I'm pointing like this because all of it. We're in New York City right now. We're in Manhattan. That's what we do. Come on.
Mayweather claimed that he owned these properties, along with the retail spaces beneath them, entirely by himself. No partners, no co-investors, just Mayweather making what he called power moves. He even encouraged his fans to follow his lead by making smart choices. According to Mayweather, his real estate firm, Veta Properties, paid $42 million for the portfolio. The announcement made headlines, and fans celebrated what seemed to be his transformation from boxing star to property mogul.
Into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me.
But soon after, cracks began to appear. City property records in New York showed no evidence of a sale. In fact, none of the 62 buildings had changed ownership. Experts pointed out that city records typically update within days of a finalized EA deal, suggesting that either the deal never happened or it was far more complicated than Mayweather portrayed.
Floyd Mayweather Jr., there's a story circulating that Business Insider did talking about this $400 million property deal that he had been discussing here in New York City. But now, according to Business Insider, it's not what you think it is. They said there's no evidence there's been a sale of these properties, and it's 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. Here is what Floyd Mayweather...
Officials from the NYC Housing Partnership, a non-profit involved in preserving affordability in many of these buildings, confirmed they had not been notified of any sale. Normally, they would be actively involved in such a transaction. Yet in this case, they hadn't received any information. A source close to the situation, speaking anonymously due to a confidentiality agreement, revealed that Mayweather didn't actually buy the properties outright. Instead, he purchased a minor share with the option to increase his stake over time. Whether he follows through remains uncertain.
In 36 months, with one of my new investments, I would be making $300 million a month.
What investment is that?
In real estate. I'm heavy in real estate. Even though I got a lot of cash, OPM. You don't always have to use your money. That's why it's very important for y'all to make.
Despite the confusion, Black Spruce Management, the firm that currently owns most of these buildings, issued a statement describing Mayweather as a reliable partner who has so far met all his commitments, a polite way of confirming his involvement. without validating his public claims. Meanwhile, the Orbach Group, a co-owner in some of the properties, has remained silent. Trevor Noah noted that Orbach's CEO, Mir Orbach, has not responded to calls or emails about Mayweather's role. The situation grew even stranger when the head of Veta Properties, Frist, tried to clarify details. During a phone call, Frist patched in a man claiming to be James McNair, a known Mayweather associate, who refused to speak on the record and whose voice didn't match existing recordings of McNair.
That things may not be how they seem. So a couple weeks back, I talked about it here on the show. Floyd Mayweather said he dropped $402 million on 62 Manhattan rental buildings. But Business Insider went and did the research. They did their Googles, and they said they couldn't find any receipts that this is true. There were no deed transfers, no public records, nothing. They made some phone calls to owners, and they could not find any information regarding this.
Still, the mystery man insisted the deal had closed, adding that Mayweather was personally motivated to invest in affordable housing because of his upbringing in similar conditions. While that might sound admirable, many details remain unclear. McNair himself has yet to respond to inquiries, and Mayweather's legal team has also remained silent, despite multiple press requests. This incident is just the latest chapter in Mayweather's unpredictable venture into the business world.
One of the best investments that I did was New York real estate. So it started off with 7 figures, and I was getting a certain amount of money every month. When I first gave them $5 million, I was getting $50,000 a month. So I said, yo, the money kept coming on the 18th every month. 50,000 would come in. I still was competing, I still was fighting, I still was active, and I still was making crazy money.
Over the years, Mayweather has been linked to several high-profile real estate deals, though many of these claims are difficult to verify. One story dates back more than a decade to a New York Knicks game, where Mayweather allegedly sat beside 2 major real estate figures, Jeff Sutton, a Manhattan retail property giant, and Andrew Matias, an executive at SL Green, one of the city's largest landlords. According to Trevor, that chance encounter led to a long-standing relationship, with both men offering Mayweather guidance on breaking into real estate. In a 2022 podcast, Mayweather claimed that early in his investing career, with help from his former manager Al Heyman and some influential friends, he invested $5 million in commercial real estate, claiming to earn $50,000 per month in returns. That's a 12% annual return, unusually high for the industry. He also claimed a stake in One Vanderbilt, a 1,400-foot-tall Manhattan skyscraper, which he mistakenly called the tallest building in New York City. This claim was never substantiated. When the alleged McNair spoke to Business Insider, he stated Mayweather had invested $88 million into about 20 mezzanine loans originated by SL Green. These types of loans are riskier but offer higher returns. He called it a win-win. SL Green benefited from the publicity and Mayweather made a profit. However, SL Green declined to confirm any of this, stating they don't disclose individual investors, and Mayweather's name has never appeared in any of their official filings for significant deals.
I love bringing the people into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City.
So embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive.
According to Noah, this story goes back even further. During a 2014 investor call, SL Green CEO Mark Holliday mentioned Mayweather, calling him a big fan of the company. Mayweather even chimed in on the call saying, "You're the right team, SL Green." However, no concrete investment details were revealed. Mayweather also claims to have invested in 61W Companies, another real estate firm focused on office spaces. When reporters contacted the company for comment, No one responded. Mayweather even listed a Manhattan property at 1196 Avenue of the Americas as part of his portfolio on his company's website. Yet, New York property records show no change in ownership for that building.
I made somewhere upwards of $800 million. And my money is still making money. And as far as in real estate, I made smart investments. And I can think I got somewhere upwards of $1.2 billion in real estate as of right now, but just smart investments. Like I said before, I'm just truly blessed, and I'm thankful for all the people that went out and bought pay-per-view all those years.
What about the TMT gear? That's selling great.
I think right now with the money team and the movement, we're making.
What Joe Rogan sees isn't a man who's lost or desperate. He sees someone who's figured out how to stay rich, or at least appear rich, in a world that quickly forgets yesterday's champions. The paydays, the exhibition fights, and the alleged real estate empire are all part of a carefully managed image. It's no longer about boxing. It's about survival in a culture that discards legends the moment they stop performing. Mayweather's real opponent now is time, obscurity, and the pressure to maintain a lifestyle that constantly demands more. As long as people watch and the money flows, Mayweather will keep the show going. Not for legacy or glory, but to keep the machine alive, a machine he built and one he can't afford to stop feeding. His post-retirement career continues to stir controversy, not just because of his exhibition matches or his million-dollar paychecks, but because of the bold claims he makes. Fellow boxing legend Oscar De La Hoya even took a public jab at Mayweather's new path. In an Instagram video for his Clapback Thursday series, De La Hoya didn't hold back. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. Stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life's expensive, but come on, man. Protect your legacy.
Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets.
It was direct, sharp, and personal. And it struck a nerve with Floyd Mayweather. If there's one thing he doesn't take lightly, it's someone questioning his legacy. In response, Mayweather fired back on social media, posting a message that felt more like a personal manifesto than a comeback. His message was clear. Retirement doesn't mean retreat. To him, it's freedom. The freedom to earn on his own terms, fight when and where he wants, and continue making millions while doing it. He wrote, "I've worked hard to build a life where I can choose my adventures. And if those adventures bring in multi-millions, even better. Success isn't something you retire from. It's something you refine."
Where did you get that business sense? Because you surpassed everybody in boxing and sports and everything in general. I'm watching you as like, you bigger than the NFL franchise.
Every time I got around my billionaire buddies, I was more like, it's cool to come over your house, but I need a house like this. It's cool to ride on your yacht, but I need a yacht like this. It's cool to ride on your jet, but I want a jet like this. And I said, no, I don't want to ride on yours. You show me how to get it. You can't be my friend if you can't show me how to get it. Once they show me how to get it, then I can install it in my children.
It's a bloodline.
If you know Mayweather, you knew one post wasn't going to be the end of it. He doubled down, posting a series of sharp, unapologetic messages aimed at his critics, or as he called them, bitter, jealous, envious loser stalkers. Classics. Floyd. Blunt, unfiltered, and refusing to hold back. He fired shots at those who he said are miserable in their own lives and obsessed with watching others. But this wasn't just a personal spat. It opened the door to a bigger conversation about race, wealth, legacy, and society's discomfort with athletes who refuse to stick to the script. His next post read like a declaration of independence.
In the beginning, I feel like people was rooting for me, wanted the best for me. And the more and more as I accomplished more and kept accomplishing things, then you start seeing like different things. Then you start seeing, he's a wife beater, or he's not that smart, or you hear so many different things. And I just feel like, okay, you're entitled to believe whatever you want.
They expect athletes to go broke, not build portfolios. They expect flash, not financial literacy. Well, I'm rewriting the script with my own money, my own mind, and my own moves. If that threatens you, that says more about you than me. Floyd has a point here. The boxing world has a painful history of champions going broke after their careers. Mayweather is saying, "Not me." He's determined to write a different ending, one he controls. But opinions are divided. To some, his exhibitions are a smart business strategy, making millions against low-risk opponents like YouTubers and MMA fighters while staying relevant. To others, including Oscar de la Hoya, it's a slow erosion of a once untouchable legacy.
Some of the biggest artists, you wouldn't even know. Because my name don't have to be on everything.
I have to be the marquee.
Yeah, because sometimes if you put your name on certain things, you got people that's gonna be jealous. So sometimes I was like, I don't got to have my name on it to collect the check.
On one side, Mayweather is staying in shape, keeping his name in the headlines, and making huge paychecks off the brand he spent decades building. To others, De La Hoya included, it feels like death by 1,000 paper cuts. It's not that Mayweather is losing fights. It's that every new exhibition chips away at the prestige of 50-0. The greatest defensive fighter in boxing history is being turned into a novelty act, chasing quick paydays over lasting legacy. But is that fair? The truth is, Mayweather isn't hurting anyone in these fights. They're glorified sparring matches with an audience. He cashes his $10 million check and moves on. If people keep paying, can you really blame him?
How much is it?
$1.8 million.
$1.8 million watch.
$1.8 million, dude?
You're the first to see it.
That's insane. That
1.8 is high. 18 life.
that happy birthday, champ.
That's how we doing.
1 point. That is sick, dude.
But you gotta show him what he's saying.
And yet, the criticism keeps coming. There's an unspoken rule in sports. Once you reach legendary status, you're expected to bow out gracefully. Commentating, guest appearances, Hall of Fame speeches, not chasing the spotlight. Mayweather never signed that rule book. That's where the controversy lies. He isn't just fighting past his prime, he's thriving. He's making more money than most champions ever did in their primes. He's launching companies, making real estate, moves and closing deals. But instead of applause, he still faces skepticism and scorn.
Just another ordinary day, chilling in an EWB Rolls Royce. For those that don't know what an EWB is, that's an extended wheelbase Rolls Royce. I need the leg room. I know I ain't that tall, about 5'8.5", some days 5'9", but it is what it is. Chilling, sitting right here watching the Thriller in Manila, Ali versus Frazier documentary. Come check it out.
Maybe it's because Floyd never played the underdog. He wasn't the humble warrior or the people's champ. He was the villain, the defensive genius who dodged punches and flaunted his wealth while doing it. He didn't beg for love. He demanded attention. And now, the same bold energy follows him. In his own words, more often than not, they'd rather question the legitimacy of your power moves than applaud your growth. Racism, envy, and stereotypes fuel the criticism.
We got options, options, options. I got about 100 cars, but right here, we like to call this the Sweet 16. Lambo, Ferrari, 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 Lambo, Maybach, a Maybach, whatever you want to call it.
That isn't just a clapback. It's a critique of the entire system. Floyd is calling out boxing, the media, and society for resisting the idea of a black athlete succeeding without falling from grace. He's saying people would rather see a champion crash than watch one thrive on his own terms. It's a powerful statement, And it hits hard in a sport built on struggle, poverty, and comeback stories. Audiences love a fighter's rise from nothing, but when they succeed too well, the knives come out. Mayweather sees it, and he's refusing to play along. I didn't fall to the status quo. I studied, I invested, and I'm building a legacy, whether they like it or not.
My trunks alone, 30 million, just with the patches on my trunks, that's 30 million alone. So who's really the smartest one in the sport of boxing? And they say, well, it's not all about the money. Well, your kids can't eat legacy. They can eat off the currency. If you guys don't want to see me do no exhibitions, don't come, don't watch. I come on record and tell y'all, when it comes to legalized bank robbing, I'm the best.
But here's the issue. It's not just the flashy investments or polarizing partnerships. It's the growing suspicion that Mayweather's empire might be built more on appearances than substance. The claims about his real estate empire don't hold up in public records. Some of his business connections raise eyebrows. And behind the Instagram highlights, some insiders claim his cash flow is drying up. The boxing world is paying attention. To some, Mayweather's situation is a cautionary tale, proof that unchecked ego and reckless spending catch up eventually. To others, it's just another wild chapter in a career that's always balanced genius with risk.
To late 40s now, still fighting with these random people in random places.
Yeah.
For 5 million here, 10 million there.
No, he's just a big spender. You can't spend like that, you know? Like,
this guy has a lot of chains.
so many chains, bro. Chains, that's a depreciating asset. Get yourself something that'll hold value.
In the end, this story isn't just about money. It's about legacy. For a man who built his brand on being the best ever, how this next chapter unfolds might be the most telling part of his career. As Trevor Noah highlighted when unpacking, Mayweather's questionable $42 million real estate claims, nothing adds up. The Instagram world. Mayweather shows off looks rich, but beneath the filters, more people are questioning what's real. The boxing community is watching closely. Rising voices like Victor Ortiz and retired champs like Amir Khan are speaking out, while Mayweather's grip on the sport's respect seems to be slipping. Whether he returns to the ring or quietly fades while trying to maintain his image, one thing's certain, this isn't the Mayweather of the glory days. But what do you think? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more updates.